Hello everybody, this is Brandon with Crypto Trades and Tech here with another weekly update. The story of the week is Bitcoin breaking out of the prior all-time high of 65,000 roughly up to near 67,000 and then now having about a 10% retracement post-breakout. But before we get to the rest of the news, just want to make sure everybody understands that I am not a licensed financial advisor. Anything you hear here is just my opinion, my observation about what I see in the markets and some news. So if you were to place trades blindly based on anything that we discuss here without doing your own research, you're going to end up losing all your money and living in a van down by the river. Now, the biggest news that I could find for the week, really, other than the price action, was that there were 200 Bitcoin ATMs installed at Walmart with plans for 8,000 in total. If you remember, there was that Litecoin fake news where it was recorded that Walmart was going to be accepting Litecoin, and then that was quickly pulled. But not long after that, news about these ATMs going in, Bitcoin ATMs going in Walmart, is very interesting. So currently this appears to be a pilot, but you never know where this might be leading. Perhaps Walmart will be enabling Lightning wallet payments at some point. That would be exciting. In other news, on the Bitcoin breakout, what I wanted to highlight this week was the fact that, as I tweeted here, we're up 64% in 21 days from September 29th through October 20th. But at the same time of that very strong price action you see here on the chart from late September through late October, the coins on exchange went sideways through most of the run, and then here recently has continued to be pulled off of exchange. So ultimately, from the time that this big run started on September 20th to the time it peaked, coins on exchange were fairly flat. And then again, here we've seen the last couple of days a large amount of coins being pulled off of exchange. To me, this is extremely bullish. Nobody is looking to sell their coins at this time. There's no sell conviction. Nobody's putting coins on exchange. There doesn't appear to be any sell conviction. What it appears to me like is we have leverage being flushed out of the system. Now, as you can see here on October 20th, on the all-time high breakout, leverage reached a very, very high 0.045%. Now, every time we see it get above about 0.3, there's almost always inevitably a big correction as that leverage gets wiped out of the system, or reduced anyway. So no surprise really that we're seeing this sell-off here. Now, as far as the sell-off, let me give you my opinion about the technical analysis, what's going on here. You can see the last several times Bitcoin's broken the all-time high, we've had this very immediate correction after the fact. This has become a bit of a theme for 2021. And even back in 2020, we saw this whenever there was a breakout or near breakout and almost immediate correction. But in this case, again, on-chain continues to be extremely bullish. The amount of liquid supply available on-chain is getting reduced. You can see the effects of that. We talked about the scam wicks in our live stream yesterday, but Binance US, for example, sold off all the way to $8,000 on a quick sell-off because of the low liquidity on that exchange. So that cuts both ways. And so if there's a large influx of buying, so on the ETF news, obviously this is what really drove us the past couple of weeks to these highs here, was the news of the futures ETF being launched. But any other sort of event that might drive a lot of buying into the market, say an announcement by a company when the quarterly earnings come out here next few weeks that somebody major added Bitcoin to their balance sheet, that sort of buying frenzy is going to cause a very strong spike in price for the same reason as obviously a large dump of coins on an exchange, a large sell would wipe out the order book in the other direction and cause a big spike down. So this low liquidity environment that we're in lends itself to volatility both directions, but we continue to see upward pressure more than downward pressure. The downward pressure is temporary. The upward pressure is consistent. Now, Litecoin, very importantly, broke back above this key low, this key support level right around 0.003 that we've been watching closely. That was a 2017 all-time weekly close. We got below that, bit of a fake out, and immediately have popped back up here. So I'm liking Litecoin. I took a trade on Litecoin myself and then ended up getting stopped out. Took some profit up here in the 200s, and then I got stopped out as we lost this daily support level right around 198. Looking for the next entry on Litecoin myself. Litecoin tends to trade when Bitcoin is strong. Litecoin lags Bitcoin, but will generally outpace it. And then, of course, after Bitcoin makes its run, we see those rotation of funds from Bitcoin into the major large cap cryptos like Ethereum, the platform. Cryptos typically do well after that. But Litecoin does oftentimes do very well when Bitcoin is trending. So this is the one I'm watching for trades. The other project that I continue to build a bigger and bigger bag on, I want to get this up to 20% of my holdings before alt season 2 hits. But I keep buying the dip on Elrond. Elrond showed a very strong bounce here today back above this key pivot I've been watching is 145. But very importantly, on the BTC chart, you see this consolidation pattern we had after a bit of a breakout on Elrond versus Bitcoin. It hasn't made it back to this bottom trend line that I was waiting. If it did get there, I was going to load up significantly. We still might make it down there if Bitcoin breaks out to the upside again. Of course, this could run the other direction. But for now, Elrond has made a very strong bounce back. You see it came into support right at these levels over here. So we'll be watching those levels again to see if we do get down there, how this price reacts. But for now, the weekly level right around 0.004 is, I think, the key level to watch for a retest and then possibly resumption. But Elrond continued to look strong. Out of the major top 100 crypto market cap coins, I expect Elrond was going to have the biggest move in the second half of alt season 2 whenever we do get to that phase. Again, not financial advice. This is just my opinion. It's a very strong project. There's lots of fundamentals lining up in its favor. Lastly, back to Bitcoin here. For these support levels, I've got a new prime top trend line that I'm using, and I have an uptrend channel here. I see some concurrence of support right around this $60,000 weekly high and this bottom trend line. If you clone the top trend line to the bottom, what I'll be looking for is daily closes above. I want to make sure we have daily closes above. The March monthly high would be the lowest I'd want to see this get down to. But should over the weekend we bounce off of that level, we would really love to see daily closes above 60,000 and then a resumption out of there. But you can see here the confluence of support. So that comes in at between $58,300 and $60,000. There's a lot of strong support there. So I'm looking and expecting a bounce here. We'll see if we get this bottom trend line to hold. All right, everybody, thank you. If you made it this far in the video, please like and subscribe. Consider sharing the video. Everybody have a great weekend.